Hello and welcome to VG Guide, your pocket guide for Vainglory, available for free on iOS and Android. Today, we're taking a walk through Vainglory patch 3.7, which welcomes a new hero to the rise, Yates the Reclaimer. Stay tuned as we run down the balance changes and take a look at the awesome new content in the game, including new skins, Yates, and hats. That's right, we now have hats in Vainglory. It's party time! Let's start with the item balance changes. In this patch, there are 7 item changes. Aegis gets a minor buff from 85 to 90 shield. Aftershock damage versus non-heroes is nerfed from 400 to 300. Bonesaw is buffed from 15 weapon power to 25. Metal Jacket sees a buff from 120 to 130 armor. Serpent Mask weapon power is nerfed from 100 to 85. Spell Sword cost decreased from 2,700 to 2,650 gold. The most significant change is to Pulse Weave, historically a heavily used item since its introduction, and as such sees a sharp increase in its purchase price from 2,000 to 2,300 gold. Next up is the hero balance changes. This patch sees changes to 16 of the 43 existing heroes, so pay attention. Changes here may affect your gameplay. First up, Anka, Dance of Blades. Her B gets a damage buff, but a slight nerf on the crystal ratio. Baron's Rocket Launcher, his perk, Splash Damage, gets a nerf. Celeste's Heliogenesis, her A, Range, gets a nerf. Fortress's Truth of the Tooth, his A, Speed Boost, gets a significant nerf, down by almost 50%. Lifesteal also gets a nerf. Grumpjaw's Grumpy, his A, now also hits things at his ending location. Kenzie's Immovable Mind, his perk, Stack Timeout, is almost halved, while the barrier and bonus damage is also nerfed. Kestrel's Glimmer Shot, her A, Energy and Armor Pierce get a buff. Kinetic's attack range gets a minor nerf. Finn's Polite Company, his B, gets a nerf to his fortified health, health scaling, and defense scaling. Reen, Frostguard, his perk, gets a bug fix on his fortified health generation, damage over time, and Winter Spire get a nerf. Reza's Firestarter, his perk, gets a damage nerf. Samuel's Drifting Dark, his B, gets a nerf on the heal per target element of the ability. Saw's perk, Spin Up, gets an attack speed nerf of 3% per stack. Silvernail's attack range gets a minor nerf. Tony's Trash Talk, his B, gets a significant buff on the crystal ratio. Bada Boom, his ult, Weapon Damage, gets a nerf, but with added crystal and weapon ratios. The knockback distance gets a buff. Last but not least is Varya's Anvil's Hammer. Her ult gets a consecutive hit nerf. So there we have it. Changes to 16 heroes in the game for patch 3.7. Make sure you familiarize yourself with the changes before heading into your next ranked match. Before we get into that awesome new content, there's also a number of gameplay changes to be aware of. There's changes to the jungle camps and monsters, changes to the captured Black Claw, which now becomes enraged past 25 minutes, and also new changes to turrets and structures in both 3v3 and 5v5 game modes. Be aware, turret armor and shield piercing has received a noticeable buff, up from 15% to 50%, and turrets now have heat stacks, which ramp up damage to heroes by a massive 62.5% per stack, max 2 stacks, along with some other changes. Armories in 5v5 now fully regenerate after 3 minutes of being out of combat, along with other changes to turrets and the Vein Crystal itself. Now, let's get into that juicy new content. First up, skins. Update 3.7 sees 5 new skins coming to the game. Cruel gets 3 legendary Cyber Cruel skins, which come in white, red, and blue. There's a new free Contender Kestrel skin, which is offered by SEMC as a reward for players that reach Credible Threat Bronze skilled tier. And the new hero Yates gets his own rare skin on launch, Crimson Wolf Yates, which looks sick. Yates is a captain who specializes in reeling in unsuspecting victims with his A ability, Wolf's Maw. Similar to Finn's Forced Accord, this ability pulls enemy heroes towards him and can also be used to secure jungle camps by pulling monsters through walls, although only the first target hit is pulled towards Yates, unlike with the anchor from the River Troll. Overdriving this ability gives faster cooldown. Overwhelm is his B ability, which, after gathering energy for 1.5 seconds, releases a shockwave around himself, stunning affected enemies and granting Yates bonus move speed. Overdriving this ability gives a longer stun and more powerful bonus move speed. Yates' ultimate, Iron Mandate, allows him to leap to any location on the map. As he performs this maneuver, allies are granted a health barrier, while enemies in the area are slowed. Devastation Flail is Yates' heroic perk, which allows him to combo his basic attacks, dealing bonus damage and granting additional move speed on the second and third hit. And no, we haven't forgotten. Love them or loathe them, this patch sees the introduction of hats. Personally, we're a fan of these awesome additions. Let's be honest, a fight is always more fun when you've donned your party hat, right? There's a few hats to choose from on launch, party hats and halos in different variations. Players must collect materials in-game to craft hats. However, not all skins are compatible with hats, so check in-game before crafting. There's a few other features in the patch that we haven't time to go into detail today, including the awesome new auto shop and auto level up features, so make sure you check out the full patch notes. You'll find a link in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to our channel. Join us again soon for another video. VG Guide, your pocket guide for Vainglory, available for free on iOS and Android.